Today, I want to tell you a true story. It is the story of a boy who grew up with almost nothing. He sold rice, did heavy labor, and ran away from home 4 times. He lost much, failed many times, but he never quit. That boy built a company that became one of the largest car makers in the world. His name was Chung Ju-Yung. This story is not only about business, it is about hope. It is about courage. It is about the power of getting up again after you fall. If you are ready, let us begin. Chung Ju-Yung was born in 1915 in a village called Tongcheon. Today, that place is inside North Korea. But in 1915, Korea was still one country under Japanese rule. Chung was the oldest of many brothers and sisters. His family was very poor. Everyone worked hard in the fields, but they still had little food. When Chung was just 14 years old, he had to leave school. The family needed every pair of hands to work the land. For a young boy, life became nothing but hard work under the sun. He plowed fields. He carried heavy loads. Some nights they did not have enough to eat. Those days shaped him. He saw hunger and he felt shame. He also felt something else, a quiet anger, the desire to change his life. Chung could not accept the idea of living this life forever. He thought, I will not spend my life hungry and powerless. So he planned to leave home. The first time he ran away, he walked nearly 100 kilometers to find work in a place called Kwan. There, he joined construction workers and worked as a laborer. He was free there. He earned a little money and he felt proud. But the freedom lasted only 2 months. His parents found him. They brought him home. The village life took him back to the fields. He ran away again and again. In Seoul, Chung did many kinds of work. He's found no job too small. He did construction work again. He worked in factories. He did cleaning. He never complained. He worked hard every day. He learned everything he could. Still, life in the city was not easy. He slept in cheap rooms. Many nights, he had little to eat. But the city gave him one thing the fields did not: hope. In the city, he could imagine a different future. He could be more than a poor farmer's son. He could choose his work. He could make a plan. One small job changed everything. He got a job delivering rice on a bicycle for a small rice shop. The shop owner watched him work. The owner was surprised by Chung's honesty, careful work, and polite behavior. Sales began to rise because of him. Soon, the owner promoted Chung to manager. This was Chung's first job with responsibility. For the first time, he was not paid for muscle alone. He was rewarded for trust and hard work. He loved this job. He felt proud. But then history changed. In 1937, tensions between Japan and China grew into violent conflict. The Second Sino-Japanese War began. These events hit Korea hard. Japan had control over Korea. They needed food and war supplies. The Japanese government took over many shops, including the rice shops. Chung's store was seized. Suddenly, he was jobless again. All his savings and his work seemed to vanish. Yet Chung did not give up. He thought, I must find work that no one can take from me. He began to think about cars and repairs. he decided to open a small car repair shop. He borrowed 3,000 won to start the business. He named his new business Ado Service. For a while, things went well. He worked late nights. He saved money. But tragedy struck again. A fire destroyed the garage. Every car inside burned. He lost everything. Many people would have been finished by that loss. Many would have given up. But Chung made a different choice. He borrowed more money, 3,500 won, and he rebuilt the garage. He would not let one fire define his life. Rebuilding was slow and hard, but Chung had learned valuable lessons. He learned how to plan. He learned how to trust people. He worked long hours, and he started to earn more. In time, his garage grew. He began to hire workers. Soon, some 70 to 80 people worked for him. He had built more than a business. He created jobs. He called his business Hyundai Auto Service. Hyundai means modern. Chung wanted to bring modern ideas to his work and to his country. He was not satisfied with small steps. He kept dreaming bigger. He remembered the old garage and the dream of making vehicles. He thought, why not make cars of our own? In 1967, Chung started Hyundai Motors. He did not begin alone. He used partnerships to learn technology and gain experience. First, he worked with Ford on assembly. Then, he signed agreements with other companies to access their technology. Hyundai started to build its first cars. South Korea's auto market was tiny at that time, maybe just 30,000 cars a year. That was not enough to grow fast. Chung needed foreign partners and foreign markets. Hyundai worked hard to meet world standards, but the road was not easy. When Hyundai first entered the US market, critics were harsh. They called the cars cheap and weak. People laughed at the company. Hyundai faced ridicule. Their first attempts were not perfect. But Chung used these failures to learn. He and his engineers improved engines, improved parts, and redesigned models. They kept improving quality. They did not stop working. Hitting the market with better products, they slowly changed opinions. Quality improved, and customers began to trust Hyundai. By focusing on better technology and better design, Hyundai grew beyond Korea. It reached other countries. People liked the cars because they were affordable and got better each year. Hyundai became a real maker of cars, not just a small company. Chung's life had a pattern. He fell many times. He made mistakes, but he always learned and got stronger. That persistence, trying again and again, turned one man's dream into a global brand. By the late 20th century, Hyundai had changed. It was now one of the important car makers in the world. Its cars were sold in many countries. It was no longer a company people made fun of. It was a company people trusted. We must go back for a moment. The Korean War changed every plan for every person in the country. It destroyed homes and cities. It left people without food and shelter. But it also changed the path for many, including Chung. When Chung moved to Busan, he did not hide or stay small. He looked for work that could support a large army base. The US military needed fast solutions. Chung knew how to deliver. He built simple, strong structures. He solved urgent problems. His ability to work quickly and meet a high standard made him trusted by the Americans. This trust turned into steady contracts. These contracts paid well. They gave Hyundai the cash and experience to take bigger projects with the South Korean government. When peace returned, Hyundai did not shut down. Instead, it built highways, bridges, and dams. These were the big projects that changed a nation. The economy improved. Jobs increased. Roads and bridges connected cities. Hyundai helped South Korea stand up again. Chung took the money he earned from construction and used it to expand into new businesses. The company that built roads now wanted to build cars. This step would take many years of work, many hopes, and many failures. Remember this: the same hands that once carried rice sacks now signed contracts with foreign governments. The same boy who feared hunger now led a workforce of thousands. That was the power of vision and tireless work. Every success story has hard moments. For Hyundai, early international critics were loud. The company sold some low-cost cars that did not impress buyers. In markets like the United States, customers expected better quality. Hyundai's cars were called cheap. People joked. This was a painful time. But Chung chose not to be angry. He chose to be better. Hyundai invested in research and development. Engineers worked to improve engines, safety, and design. Quality checks got stronger. Hyundai learned from mistakes and fixed them. Bit by bit, Hyundai changed its image. The cars became reliable. Buyers began to notice. The brand turned into a company that offered a good balance of price and quality. Hyundai built cars people could trust. Chung's leadership style helped too. He believed in giving people responsibility. He trusted workers and managers. He often said that a company is like a family. Treat people right, and they will help you grow. In time, Hyundai achieved what many thought impossible. The company grew into one of the world's leading car makers. Chung's name became linked to that success. He had started life poor and ended life with a great legacy. Chung Ju-Yung passed away in 2001, but his work lives on. Hyundai grew from a small garage and a rice shop to a multinational company. The Hyundai logo, the letter H, is more than a letter. It looks like two people shaking hands, a company representative and a satisfied customer. That image says everything about Chung's idea: trust, respect, and service. What is the lesson? It is simple. No matter how small your start, keep learning. When you fail, learn and try again. Work honestly, help others, and build something that lasts. That is the true power of a life well lived. If you liked this story, remember, big journeys begin with one small step. Start yours today.